What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning back in. This is XP to Level Up, where I give you the experience that you need to get to the next level in your life. And I am coming at you guys a little late this week. I know. Thursday night instead of a Monday night, but fortunately that's just kind of how things are right now. I'm back working full time again, and so I kind of have to adjust accordingly. So I am here now, though. I am definitely going to give you at least one video per week, so here we are. So today, guys, we got a great topic for you, something that I think will help very much with young people and just their... Jesus. Hold on a second, guys. Let me see if I can close this, make that not as loud. Okay, all right, we're back. So today, guys, we're going to be talking about pretty much how to save money for idiots. I mean, this is pretty much the way that I taught myself how to save money and become a little more financially intelligent. But disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor at all, not in the slightest. I'm still learning about money. Okay, like, you know, I'm further along than a typical young person, but I'm definitely no financial advisor, so take all of these things with a grain of salt. This is just what worked for me, okay? Just like everything else that I speak about on this channel, it's about things that have worked for me and that I hope will work for you, okay? So the first thing, guys, is just like any goal, okay, what do you do? Okay, like let's say you have a financial goal, whether you want to save money, invest, or whatever the case, right? You want to do something with your money and you have set a goal for yourself. What is the first thing that you do, okay? You write that goal down. You write that financial goal down. You give it a timeline and you figure out steps to get there, right? Which we'll talk about. But yeah, you got to write that goal down so you see it every day. You know, it's fresh in your head. Okay, you know what you're working towards. Okay, if you just be like, oh, I want to save money. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, of course you could save money here and there and not really think about it, but it's gonna work out much better in your favor if you actually have a long-term or short-term goal, like a certain number picked out in your head that okay, this is what the number is that I need to get to by this date, right? So first thing that you gotta do, guys, is write down your goal. Okay. So the second thing is you got to organize your financial priorities, okay? So this pretty much means like, okay, what are the biggest priorities in my life that can only be acquired, through finances or financially, right? These could be, like if let's say you have hobbies that require a subscription, or you have certain material things that you think are priorities that you need to keep up with, or whatever the case, you've got to figure out, okay, what are my biggest priorities in life that I need money for, and just kind of figure that out. And then what the things that aren't priorities, that's already going to kind of help you have a kind of a list of things that, okay, these probably are things I don't really need to be spending money on anytime soon because they're not priorities, right? So third thing is you have to figure out your monthly expenses for necessities and set up a budget. Okay, now this is a lot easier than you probably think. When you think set up a budget, you think, oh man, there's all these little factors that go into it, and there is. But if you learn how to just kind of create categories that are broad but yet to the point of what you spend money on, like for example, so for my monthly budget, I pretty much have it set up to where I know how much money is going into my subscriptions, like Netflix, Hulu, all that kind of stuff, what's going into my groceries, what's going into my living expenses, what's going into my spending money, what's going into, just things that I know that I spend money on every single month. I make categories of them, and I figure out, based on my bank statements from the following month, how much money I spend on these things, so I can kind of figure out where I'm at and have a general understanding, so I know where I can spend more or less at, okay? Or things that I shouldn't be spending money on at all. Okay, so the next thing, guys, is you want to set aside a realistic amount of spending money, okay? Now, you don't necessarily need that much spending money, especially as a young person. what are you going to use that for, right? I mean, I feel like when it comes to spending money, I've noticed that I can literally, like, keep in mind, this is if you're productive and you're focused on goals in your life and you're trying to keep busy, okay? You don't have a lot of free time to be spending money with, okay? Which is the way it should be. But if that's the case, I mean, for me personally, I've noticed that I've gone a whole month with maybe spending like maybe $100 on like social events and stuff, like or like going out to get drinks and stuff like that. I don't really feel like people think that you need a lot more money for spending money than you actually do. Okay, so I just think that you should try to be as realistic about that as possible, and just kind of figure out a number like, okay, maybe like $100 or $200 a month of like spending money that I can just spend frivolously, that I don't have to worry about whatever. So the next thing is you gotta, if you're not making enough money to get to your goals, there's no amount of frugality that's gonna save you. Okay, you have to up your income, whether that's getting an odd job on the side, whether that's finding a whole new job entirely, or whether it's getting promoted at your job, or whatever the case. You have got to find a way to up your income if you want to actually succeed with actual financial goals. I've run into a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, I'm trying to save money, but they make minimum wage and they live paycheck to paycheck. It's like, okay, well, you can't really save money. I mean, you can save money, but it's very small amounts. It's very incremental to the point where the struggle to do it is not even worth it. Like the penny pinching and the starving and the well, not literally starving, but you know what I mean, like just the insane frugality to save maybe like $100 or so bucks, like every 2 weeks to a month or something like that. I mean, that's just a miserable way to save. So I mean, honestly, if you have a deadline that you need to have a certain amount of money for at that time, or you have a goal that you want to achieve with your money in a certain period of time, sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and you have to find a way to up your income. So make sure, if that's necessary, that you get that done, okay? And I don't want to hear I'm stuck at my job and all this like, I feel like there's no such thing in this economy as being stuck at your job. Right now, COVID kind of messes with that, especially if you're in the hospitality industry. It is harder for you to find a job. I get that. But if there's a will, there's a way, okay? And if you have the will to want to find something better for you, you're going to do it. You're going to make it happen no matter what it takes, okay? That's just the way that I look at it. So don't give me the excuses of, oh, I'm stuck at my job, so I can't, carry out this goal, okay? That's nonsense. And the last thing is to not go out of your budget and to stay disciplined, right? I've talked about discipline so many times, guys, and again, one of the things that I'm so grateful for from my fitness journey and the character development that came from that is the discipline that I now have. That I've been able to apply discipline to my finances. Okay, finances requires discipline because you need the discipline to learn how to control your money. You need to have the discipline to know when to say no when you can't afford something. Okay, I used to. Prior to all this, I used to struggle with that. I used to be, because nobody in my family, necessarily knows a lot about money or has a lot of money. So no one's ever really taught me how to use money. So in the past, when I was younger, whenever I got money, I would spend it on whatever I saw that I wanted because I didn't know any better. And I just, went through with my impulses and thought that was just the way to go. And then, oh, well, you can always make more money, so why not spend it? When that's not a healthy way to look at it at all. As a young person, you should be on your top of your finances ASAP, as soon as possible, guys. This is, I cannot stress this enough. The sooner that you get ahead of your finances in life, the better that the rest of your life is going to be set up in the future. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, you may not see it now, but trust me, you're going to see it later in life if you don't prepare financially for your future, okay? And I'll tell you, I'm not going to be that young person's statistic of, oh, he didn't save any money, he didn't put any money into investments or a retirement fund, and now he's in his 40s or 50s living paycheck to paycheck just trying to make it. I'm not doing that. I'm not at all, and nobody that watches me deserves that. at all. You should be on top of your finances as soon as possible. Find a way to do that. Google is full of information, and if that's not helping you, then put yourself around people that know about money. Okay, I have people in my life that I've been fortunate enough to know that have taught me a lot about the way that I handle my money nowadays. And if it wasn't for that, I really don't think that I would be able to achieve a lot of the things that I have financially recently, because I would lack the discipline or knowledge to know how to control and budget my money. Okay, which I know is sad. You think that would be a basic thing to know, right? Yes, of course, it should be a basic thing to know. But is it taught to a lot of kids? Not really, right? I mean, not that I've really seen, but for me especially, if you come from a family of not poverty, but lower middle class, even just a family that doesn't have an abundance of finances, okay, you're probably not going to learn a lot about finances because they don't know any better. They can't teach you what they don't know, right? So it's like you have to go out and get that knowledge on your own. And these are just a few of the things that I've done that are just kind of like the layman's interpretation of how to kind of be a little bit better with your money. And this is just the beginning, okay? You guys have to understand that. This is just the beginning. There's so much more intricate details behind this and how to do it, everything like that. But this is just kind of like a general outline of what I have done in the past to kind of get more of a control over my money, okay? So, yeah, I mean, I think that's rant over, but yeah, again, I mean, so many people that I know, guys, that are in my age group, when you talk to them about money, it's like they don't have a clue what's going on, and it's really, really, really sad, and it honestly scares me, because I feel like a lot of these people aren't going to learn, until it's too late. They're going to be in their mid-30s, late 30s, early 40s having midlife crises because they don't know what they're doing with their money, and they're just learning at that point, okay? Trust me, you're going to feel so blessed and so privileged when you have the financial knowledge as a young person, because you can gain such an advantage in life getting that intelligence about money early, okay, instead of later. So, hope you guys learned something tonight. Thank you so much for watching. It's always a pleasure. I will probably get at you guys next week. But as always, if you did learn something today, make sure to drop a like. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to turn on that notification bell to get notices when I do upload, so you'll never miss a video. Okay? And make sure to comment below. Okay? What ways have you gotten a grip over your money that you feel like you could help other people with by talking about it? Anything, leave a comment below. I would love to chat with any of you guys. So yeah, thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.